Hello, it's Phil here for digitaldjtips.com, and in front of me I have the Reloop Beatpad. This is a DJ controller that's made for iPad. You just get your iPad with DJ2 software running on it, which is a bargain at the moment actually, very cheap. Certainly worth buying it, even though there is an LE version in the box. Get the software on there, plug it in with the supplied 30-pin or lightning connector depending on your iDevice. And that's all you need to do. It really does power up very simply and quickly, and you're ready to go. To load a tune, you hit the button here. There's a choice of how the library is presented to you, so you can have a little library like that and select your tunes that way, or you can have the bigger library in the way that I had it before. Much prefer it like that myself, and you can select your tune that way. You can even change the color of the library depending on whether you're DJing at day or night. Can't do that with the main software though, weirdly enough. And then you can choose your tune and get it loaded up. There was no way of having the key shown here that I could see anyway, which is a shame. I like to DJ by key, but there are ways around that with playlists and so on. So you grab your tune and load it onto a deck. And here we go. My tune's there, playing away. The responsiveness of the jog wheel is really very good. I had my scratch expert Steve Canuetto test this out at the BPM show, and he had nothing but praise for it. He went on about it for days actually. So if you're worried about whether this is going to be responsive enough, whether it's tight enough, both visually and on the jog wheels itself, it's really very good. So what else can we show you about it? Well, there's the 4 usual transport controls at the front with the usual DJ slow there. There's lots and lots of functions that you can adjust, by the way, all down to some very advanced stuff in here. So you can set the controller up to exactly how you want it. DJ has become really rather good software over the years, and this view might be unusual to you if you're not used to seeing waveforms in DJ. This came with DJ2. Touch the button there and you're back to the eye candy, if slightly tacky looking decks, but to be fair, they are the best in the business. Look at the rotating Technics stuff underneath there. I don't know if my dodgy camera can pick that up. So back to the waveform view that I like. Now let's have a look at what else is on here apart from the usual transport and the usual stuff you'd expect on a mixer. It does have a gain control. Auto gain can be switched on and off, and a full 3-band EQ. There's no EQs on the actual unit, but they're up the top here, so you can make sure that you're not pushing it too far into the red using those. So as well as this section here, there's this kind of bit here which is quite trendy, having these pads here, and these are mapped to some various functions of DJ which are quite distinctive to that software. So for instance, there are the instant effects, which turn the jog wheel a different colour each time. Some of which are quite good. I've always liked that one myself. There's a bounce loop, which is like a loop roll with a slip attached. The sampler can be accessed by here. By holding shift in the sampler, you can actually open the sampler here, and then you've got control over that. That's the dubstep pack I've selected there, but there are various packs in here you can choose. You get the cheesy essentials as well, with stuff like sirens. There you go, for all you mobile DJs out there who like to throw a siren in here and there. I don't like that stuff myself, frankly. I think it's all a bit cheesy, but it's all there if you want it. So there's a sampler there. There's also the usual cue points that you can set. And there's 4 cue points that you can delete with shift, which is pretty standard. There's a loop up here. You can adjust the loop length for. And there's a dual effect here. You can get into the effects by pressing a button on the screen, and then you can choose the effect that you want to control. If you switch to manual, as well as choosing your effect, you can have the filter going with it. There's a filter per channel up here, which is quite nice. So you could control your effect and also independently the filter at the same time, which I quite liked. What I liked about it is that the integration with the software is pretty tight. It's not perfect. There's a bit of a learning curve with working out what you can do on the buttons and what you have to do on the screen, but it's pretty good. And the software over the years has become excellent in its own right. It started off with really quite a basic, if very good looking piece of DJ software, but over the years, DJ, and especially now DJ2, has become accomplished. What I like most about it was the fact that you can now DJ with an iPad slotted into a really good pro feeling piece of DJ gear that performs, that sounds good, and it's got everything you need on it, from, you know, showing off, scratching, just to mobile DJ. And there's a microphone socket at the front. You can plug an auxiliary input in at the back. You can even plug a turntable in at the back, although this only comes through a volume control up here. You don't actually have it going through the full mixer. Overall, I think this is an awesome buy. If you've been looking forward to something that you can use your iPad with, DJing out, I think this is probably it. The only downside for me was the fact that you've got a fixed position here with the iPad, which I found unusual because I'm used to having my laptop kind of up here somewhere and moving it around when there's a bit of light on it or whatever. And it kind of made me realise that you're going to have to be very careful about the way you position this unit to make sure that you can see the screen properly and that your poor back is not taking a bit of a battering by kind of squinting to see it and so on. So bit of a learning curve going on all around then, but generally I think, especially if you buy into the iPad stroke iCloud stroke iTunes everything philosophy and you want to DJ on an iPad, you think it's the way forward, and many people do, this is quite possibly the controller you've been waiting for. The Reloop Beatpad for Algorithms DJ2, and the full review is over on the Digital DJ Tips website.